All right, folks, we are back. We missed last week because we're on vacation with the wife and kids here, but week 14 is coming up. It starts tonight with the Cowboys at the Lions. An absolutely huge game for both teams. Both of these teams desperately needed to stay in the playoff race. But I want to go back to week 13 because we missed a lot with week 13. A lot of things happened, so I want to talk about that for a minute. Number one, the Packers played their best game of the season since September 7th, week 1, when they played the Lions the first time. This was super impressive. Jordan Love had his best game of the year. He threw 4 touchdowns. He threw 0 interceptions. But most importantly, they ran for over 120 yards against the Lions. We've been talking about their run game and how they've really been struggling here over the past few weeks, and they got that going. And we predicted the Packers would go to the Super Bowl before the season started. Micah Parsons had 2.5 sacks in this game. He was awesome. And they just looked like the contender that I thought they'd be before the season started. And they kind of got back on track a little bit. They're now only a half game back of the 1 seed with a huge game with the Chicago Bears at 4:25 on Sunday, so that'll be really interesting to watch. And for the Lions, they're kind of now in must-win territory tonight against the Cowboys. I think the loser of that Cowboys-Lions game is probably done. They're not going to make the playoffs, so we'll see what happens here tonight. Number 2. The Bears win their 5th straight game, and they've won 9 out of 10. And now they're tied for the 1 seed in the NFC. And they won a lot of games, but it was kind of against mediocre opponents or really bad opponents. I thought this was by far their most impressive win of the season. To go into Philadelphia, that's a big boy win. And they ran the ball for over 280 yards rushing. And now Caleb Williams has only thrown 1 pick in the last 6 weeks. He's been really not turning the ball over as well, but getting that run game to run for over 280 yards against the defending Super Bowl champs is super impressive. I can't wait to watch the Packers-Bears on Sunday afternoon. That's going to be for the division lead. It's going to give a leg up on the 1 seed, and I was just really impressed with the Bears. I've been kind of down on them, saying, well, let's wait and see until they play a real opponent, but that was a very impressive win, and that's amongst one of the best wins of the entire season across the entire NFL. And number 3, I think the Chiefs are done. And I'm not saying they can't make the playoffs. If they win their last 5, they'll probably be in the playoffs. But as far as being a real contender this season, I think they're absolutely done. And if you look at this game on Thanksgiving Day versus the Cowboys, they gave up more pass interference yards than any team in the last 35 years. That is an outstanding stat. And when I look at every call, I don't think there was any calls that were really arguable except for maybe one. It's more a fact of they have no pass rush without putting a blitz on. And when you leave Trent McDuffie, no matter how good he is, one-on-one against CeeDee Lamb 35 times a game, he's going to get burnt a couple times, and he's going to look embarrassing a couple times. And right now, they have no pass rush, and they're leaving their cornerbacks out on an island versus some really good wide receivers when they cannot generate that pass rush. And that's going to lead to a lot of deep passes, and it's going to lead to a lot of pass interference calls. And it was all on display to Thanksgiving Day. From a Cowboys standpoint, Lamb and Pickens were absolutely incredible in this game, and Dak Prescott was incredible in this game. And right now, they have to win tonight to make the playoffs, but there's no team that should want to play the Cowboys in the playoffs because there's no team that has the cornerbacks and the secondary defend both Lamb and Pickens. They are 2 of the top 7 wide receivers in the NFL right now. They're absolutely incredible, and I would not want to play them in the playoffs if I was an NFC team. So we're going to jump into my Week 14 picks. And I was 5-0 for the first time in the last 2 years this weekend, and we gave out 3 underdogs who all won. So we're looking to build on that momentum. We're now 25, 22, and 2 on the season, above 500 for the first time in the 2025 season. We're peaking at the right time, so I'm looking to build on that here a little bit. So number 1, I'm going to take the Cowboys plus 3.5 at the Lions tonight. So this is a road game for the Cowboys, but it's indoors. And this is a pretty shaky secondary for the Lions against those 2 great wide receivers and Dak Prescott, who's playing incredible. I'm going to take the Cowboys plus 3.5, and I think they're going to win outright tonight. So I'm going to take the Cowboys plus 3.5 at the Lions. Number 2, I'm going to take the Ravens minus 5.5 versus Steelers at home. And one alarming stat for the Steelers is it's been 30 days since they've completed they have a completion over 20 yards down the field. That is an absolutely incredible stat. Their defense right now is not very good. They are so shaky at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers looks like he's done. He has to hang it up after this season. And I think the Ravens are going to win by a touchdown or more and take full control of that division. Number 3, I'm going to take the Jags plus 1.5 at home versus the Colts, and I think the Jags are going to win outright. I cannot believe the Jags are not favored in this game, and I don't know what's happened to the Colts run game, if they've just gone away from JT, but the last 2 games he's been held under 70 yards rushing, and they have to get this run game going back. Trevor Lawrence had his first game without an interception in several weeks last week. He did not turn the ball over. I look for more of the same. The Jags are a lot better at home than they are on the road. I'm going to take the Jags plus 1.5 at home versus the Colts. Number 4, I'm going to take the Texans plus 3.5 at Kansas City, and I'm going to take them to win the game. And the Chiefs are much better at home than they are on the road. They're still 5-1 at home in Arrowhead, but there's a couple things going on here. Number 1, the Chiefs have 3 of their 5 offensive linemen are out right now, and both tackles are out. I have no idea how they're going to block Hunter and Anderson. I look for the Texans to get several sacks, maybe in that 4 to 5 sacks range. They're going to be all over Mahomes all day long, and I don't think this secondary is going to be able to hold up against Nico Collins and that group of wide receivers that they have from Iowa State. And I think the Texans are going to upset the Chiefs and officially end the Chiefs season. I'm taking the Texans plus 3.5 in Arrowhead. And number 5, I'm going to take the Rams minus 8 at Arizona. And this goes against everything I've always believed in. Never take a team more than a 7-point favorite. But the Rams are coming off a really tough loss. The Cardinals are looking towards the offseason. They've been blown out their last several games. I'm going to take the Rams to win big. I think Stafford's going to have 3 or more touchdowns. And I'm going to take the Rams minus 8 in Arizona. So we have a huge Week 14 coming up. Several must-win games. Can't wait to watch it. And we'll talk to everyone Sunday night.